Hello, and welcome to Everything Explained. I'm your host, and today we're looking at a force that moves people more than we expect: power. Why does power push on our minds and bodies in its own peculiar way? How does it shape what we do, what we say, and how we see others? We'll break it down into clear pieces so you can sense the moves in a meeting, a family talk, or a political debate. First, power is really about access to resources and control over outcomes. Someone with power can decide where money goes, what rules apply, and which risks are taken. In human history, power has always helped secure safety, status, and alliances. When you hold power, you tend to feel safer and more in control. When others feel they lack power, they adjust their behavior around you. That gap in control can be subtle, but it changes how people act, often before anyone says a word. Second, power acts as a social signal. It's not just money or title, it's how others read you. If you walk into a room as the most powerful person there, people respond as if they're in a different weather system. They defer, they anticipate your needs, and they align their goals with yours. That social dynamic reinforces the power holder's belief that they can act with less constraint, which in turn shapes how they behave: more decisiveness, more speed, less time spent checking with others. Third, power changes the brain's wiring in practical ways. It shifts how we see risks and rewards. Some studies show that power ramps up the brain's reward circuits, making bold moves feel more attractive. It can also dampen social sensitivity. People in power sometimes pay less attention to others' emotions or perspectives. In a meeting, that can show up as talking over people, assuming you know what's best, or focusing on your own agenda even when others have important information. Fourth, power changes body language and how others read you. Real signs are simple: bigger postures, faster or louder speech, more expansive gestures. These cues invite compliance and also feedback on the power holder, reinforcing confidence and quick decision-making. It's a loop. You feel powerful, you speak, others respond differently, and your own sense of power grows. Fifth, power has a double edge. It can protect you from fear and help you push through hard decisions when stakes are high. But it can also push you toward overconfidence, tunnel vision, and ethical blind spots. A leader who feels untouchable may miss warning signs, ignore dissent, and double down on a risky bet because they don't feel the room's checks as strongly. That's why accountability, transparency, and checks on power aren't decorations. They're survival tools for groups. Sixth, power isn't only in crowns and titles. It hides in plain sight. Expertise, influence, or a big audience on social media can confer real sway. An engineer whose data is trusted can block a flawed plan. A social media figure with a loyal following can push an idea into mass attention. The same dynamics apply. Power changes behavior, both yours and others, and it changes the choices people think are safe or possible. Seventh, on the street, in a newsroom, or around the kitchen table, power moves people through a mix of emotion, anticipation, and habit. The key is to notice the signals: your own feelings of certainty or pressure, the way others respond to you, the speed with which you're making choices. If you want to stay fair and effective, practice a few habits. Invite contrary viewpoints, pause before deciding when the outcome matters, and build routines that require justification for big moves. Sleep, stress control, and a clear set of values also help keep power from bending you too far away from who you want to be. In conclusion, power moves people because it's a shorthand for resource access, a social badge, and a trigger for brain chemistry that nudges us toward quicker, more confident action, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. Power's potential is a mirror. It reflects our goals, our fears, and our blind spots. By recognizing when power is at work, inside a room, in a relationship, or within ourselves, we can choose how to respond rather than simply ride the current. The real task isn't to avoid power altogether. It's to cultivate accountability, check our impulses, and keep our humanity in sight, so power serves our best values, not our hidden impulses. Power moves people, but with awareness and care, we can steer power towards something wiser.